you better be ready to keep it up when you get married, because they got used to it. That's what they like. That's what they want. Let's not be fake. Let's not be fake. Friends and family, welcome to Uncomfortable Conversations with a Married Woman. If you have not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe before this video is over. Now, in this conversation, we're going to talk about the different ideas that men versus women go into marriage with. Okay, so if you're interested, make sure you grab a snack, grab a drink. Let's talk. So this is an interesting topic to me because at the dinner table one day, my husband said that men go into marriage thinking the woman will never change from how they've seen the woman, for what they were interested in. And that women, on the other hand, go into marriage thinking, yeah, I'm going to change this dude. I'm going to make him exactly what I want. Once we're married, I'm going to flip him. Okay, so I thought it was really amusing, but it is serious because men are visual creatures, right? They're very visual. They go by what they see. And if they like what they see, it's done. Nothing else to it, right? On the other hand, women are more emotional. So it is how you treat them. And that's how they respond to you as to whether they like you or not. Now, let's go back to the men. So if a man meets a woman and likes the way she looks and falls in love with her because of the way she looks, that is what he's expecting to continue to get while you're married. He's going to continue to expect, the gorgeousness, hair done, maybe makeup outfit on point with your heels and whatever it is, however it is that he saw you, that he was attracted to you. He's expecting that will continue, right? And it's interesting because, of course, when you get married, you get used to the person that you're with. So you kind of relax a little bit. You're not trying to impress anybody at that point, right? So that's a very interesting perspective from the man's point, right? They're not expecting to wake up to seeing your hair in curlers. They're not expecting you to wear a morning gown, in the house all day with your slippers. They're not expecting you to look disheveled, from morning to night. They're expecting that level of put togetherness that they fell in love with, that when they saw you, before you got married. That is a man's perspective. Now, whether that is realistic or not is what we have to talk about. And I want you to put in the comments down below if you have seen this, when it comes to what a man is attracted to and what they're expecting when they get married, right? If the man was, getting meals cooked by the woman, before they got married, breakfast, lunch, and dinner on the table for you when she comes to your house or whatever it is, obviously he's going to continue to expect it when they're married. He was attracted to a certain package, right? And that's what he wants to spend the rest of his life with. And that's why he proposed, right? Now, on the other hand, when it comes to us ladies, a few of us have a list of what we want in a man, right? But in my mind, I had certain things that, I definitely want a gentleman. I want somebody who is well spoken. I want somebody who is fit. I was looking for a certain kind of person, a certain kind of man to be with, not necessarily to be married to. I don't have to be married to the person. Marriage was the last thing on my mind. But if I'm going to be hanging out with you and we're going to, be going out together and things like that, yeah, I need somebody who dresses well, who speaks well, is eloquent. I was looking for somebody who was well behaved, not loud. I can't do loud. I can't. I can't. So that was one of the things, red X, big red X, okay? And I was also looking for somebody who's well educated. You don't have to have a master's degree or a PhD, but you speak like an educated person. All your teeth had to be there. That's one thing. Listen, so let's say that the woman had 10 things on their list as to what they want from a man, the man that they're planning to spend the rest of their lives with, or they hope to spend the rest of their lives with, right? And maybe they've been looking for some years, and usually they find men that have 3 out of the 10 qualities that they're looking for. And finally, they found this man who has 6 out of the 10 qualities. And they're like, oh, right? And they're thinking, this one is close to hitting the mark. And since I've been looking for some 15 years, and finally somebody's, more than 5 out of 10, maybe I can settle with this one, and, I can tweak him a little bit for the remaining 4 qualities that I'm looking for. We can work on that. We can work on that. I'm flexible. Because you won't find the perfect person. You just won't. You won't find somebody that has every quality that you're looking for. So from the woman's perspective, yeah, we can fix it. Once we get married, I got, some magic in my hands. We're going to work on this. We're going to fix this. We're going to make him the perfect man that we want. So we go into that marriage ready to fix the guy. And the guy goes into that marriage thinking she's going to stay the same, and she's going to stay curvy the way she is. She's going to be on point, with the cooking and the taking care of me and everything. Right there, we have a bit of a disconnect, right? Our perspectives are a little bit different. So hang on, let me... Now, with such different perspectives, then it seems like, looking from the outside in, this thing is kind of doomed for failure, right? Because from the man's perspective, listen, this is how you found me, and when I proposed, you said yes, which means you like me as I am, right? And from the woman's perspective, you were good enough, and the rest of you that I don't like, I can work on. I can make you who I want you to be. For me, and I can only speak for myself, there weren't many things that I didn't like about my husband. The only one thing that I didn't like too much, but at the same time I kind of liked, was that he was antisocial. I was so used to the males in my family being beyond the social. I was over it. I did not want any man that I was with to be all the time and trying to be the, the charming person in the room, and the one that was the funniest, and, the one that lights up a room when he walks in. I was done with that. I was so done with that. Now, when I met my husband, we were going out, one-on-one, he talks a lot. He talks a lot. But when even one other person comes into the picture, so that we are 3 or more, not when I say not one word, I mean not one word, which I found very interesting. I had no problem with that. What I didn't anticipate was that when it came to family gatherings, he wouldn't even want to go, because it almost seemed like he had a phobia of being amongst people. He was just an introvert. He is an introvert. But I didn't think his being a quiet person would translate to, I don't want to be among people at all. So that for me was my challenge. So I had to deal with that. But it wasn't something I necessarily wanted him to change from, because as social as I seem, I prefer to be alone. I do. I just prefer to be by myself in my little room. Listen, a 10 by 10, with my little bed and a little table here with a big window that I can see outside is good enough for me. I don't have to be outside. I don't have to be among people. I don't have to be in a party setting. I don't have to, be the life of the party and things like that. However, However, comma, if I find myself in that situation where I am amongst people, I feel it is my job to make sure they are comfortable and entertained. That's me. So people think that I am social because of that, because that's how they see me in a public setting. I am very friendly. I will say hello to everybody and their mother and laugh at every joke you crack, even if it's not funny. And I feel bad saying this, but with this years and the past years virus outbreak and me not having to physically go into the office, I was loving that I didn't have to step outside my house. Listen, I didn't even go to the mailbox to get mail. I didn't want to be outside. I didn't want to be amongst people. I don't like going grocery shopping or any kind of shopping. Why? Because there are people there. And when I was single, when I had to do groceries and things like that, I would actually go like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., where there's just about nobody in the store. And that's when I was in heaven. Like, oh, you know what I mean? So that's how I am. That's my natural self. However, listen, Hollywood ain't got nothing on me. If I have to be the life of the party, I will be the life of the party because I want everybody to be comfortable. I want everybody to be happy. So going into a marriage where we were that different, in the beginning, I had no problem with it. I actually enjoyed it, you know. I almost leaned on my husband as the excuse that, right, listen, he doesn't want to come, so I won't leave him by himself. Right? And then the children came, and everybody always wants to see the children. So people are coming to your house, and when they hold functions, you know, they want you to come and bring the children. So that's where some roughness started to happen, where, you know, my husband's like, no, I ain't going. And I'm like, yes, sir. Okay. Because this is for the children. It's not for me. It's not for you. It's for the children. And the children need to know who their family is, and they need to know who their cousins are, so that 15 years down the road, they don't go meet their cousin and marry him because they didn't know that that's their cousin. Okay. So anyway, but eventually it started to get on my nerves a little bit, right? But I didn't want him to change either because I wanted to be able to use him as an excuse. Let me know, between you and your husband, who is the introvert and who is the I'm everywhere, I'm the life of the party, you know, here I come kind of thing. And if that has caused friction in your marriage. But to come back to a serious note, if it's not something that light or that simple, and your characters are truly so opposite that you can't resolve it or can't get along, I want the women to understand, if you're not married yet, don't go into marriage thinking in your mind that you're going to change somebody. The way the person is right now is what you're taking. All of it, the full package, take it or leave it. And don't be expecting, if they are 6 out of the 10, that, yeah, because I've been looking for 15 years and this is the closest I've gotten to what I want, that I'm going to settle and I'm going to change him when we get married. That thought, take it out of your mind altogether. I can almost promise you, after you've been married for a while, things actually get worse. You have to know that reality. When I say things get worse, remember, you were both on your best behaviors when you were dating, right? You were self-sacrificing for each other. You were impressing each other, you know, trying to at least impress each other. A lot of people, when they get married, they just settle. I think that's wrong, because what attracted you to me in the first place, I must continue to keep up, which means if I am, while we're dating, and if I am doing something that is out of my character just to attract you, that's wrong. You know what I mean? So you have to be very careful when you're being disingenuous in your actual behavior and your character while you're dating somebody. You have to let them see the real deal, who you truly are, so that if they choose to be married to you, they know what they're getting. There are no surprises. But if you're going to pretend to be this way and that way, for instance, if you don't like cooking, and while you were hanging out with the person or dating the person, you're cooking all the time just to impress them, you better be ready to keep it up when you get married, because they got used to it. That's what they like. That's what they want. Let's not be fake. Let's not be fake. It is to your own, how do you say it, benefit for you to be real while you're dating the person, so that when you get married, you can continue to be yourself. Okay? It is very important. This goes for men and this goes for women. Let's not be other than who we are, and then after we're married and our spouse is expecting us to continue to be who they thought we were, then we're like, no, we're married now, so I don't have to do that anymore. No, ma'am, sir. What you started, you better continue when you get married. Okay? I'm just trying to tell you. All right. Okay. I'm not going to belabor the point. I think you all got it. So with that being said, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. I have many more topics coming, and I want to make sure that you join in the conversation. Put your comments down below, and don't also forget to share the video with anybody. You don't know if somebody's planning on getting married, they're dating somebody, they're thinking about, should I marry this person or should I not marry that person? Make sure to share these videos. It doesn't have to be to a married couple. It can be to anybody. Okay, and make sure that they get to also join in the conversation. They get to hear some of these things and start to think. I think if we share some of our perspectives, especially for those who've been married and divorced, or even those who have decided for whatever reason not to get married, if we all share our perspectives, I think that whole 50% of first marriages fail situation can be switched. You know what I mean? People will go into marriages more aware of what they're getting into and more ready for what they're about to experience. Okay, get in that seat, buckle up, and be ready. Okay, it is a journey. I've said that before. Marriage is a journey, not a destination. So make sure that you share this video. Make sure you subscribe. And make sure if you have any questions that you don't want to send in the comments, put in the comments down below, that you send it to my email, which you're going to see on the screen, and send me direct messages, Instagram. You have all that on the screen, okay? So thank you again, as always. And don't forget that in order to have a good marriage, a thriving marriage, you must be kind to yourself and your spouse. And you must be respectful to yourself and to your spouse. Until next time, have a fantastic week.